Webb gets a win. Let me ask you this, Coach. Do you think he gets another one this year?
Boy, oh boy, yes. And here's the reason why. We all know that Cooper Webb and Aaron Plessinger not doing on KTM, not doing well on a KTM, has nothing to do with their fitness.
Mm-hmm.
It has everything to do with that bike. Everybody knows that bike was a stink bug last year. We know that both Cooper and Aaron have been very vocal. We know that they've made some significant changes this year. If you look at all of the rounds, even when Cooper had a bad race what was the last race? Houston, right?
Yeah, last week, yep.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper's bad race was still what, fifth or sixth?
Yeah.
That's a stark contrast to what we saw last year when he was running outside the top 10.
Yep.
I hate to say it because I like Christian Craig, but I feel like there's been essentially the black cloud that was over KTM last year is now over Husqvarna. Christian Craig is a beast in the whoops, and this would have been his ideal track. It didn't materialize.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, I believe that the KTM, they've got it worked out. I mean, I even said to Michaela, the idea that Cooper and Aaron both were on the box, unbelievable. Now, we all know Eli had an off night. Who cares? We talked about it, even you and I. In fact, it was exactly you and I when you said, what do you think about Eli? Is it a problem? And I said, no. I said, he just had an off night. And then he came back last week and stamped it and made a pretty big statement.
Yep.
We have to realize, and Eli even quoted himself by saying he didn't feel good on the bike, didn't feel good on the track. Who cares? I mean, you go back to Bailey, Johnson, Wardy. Those guys, they were very open with, hey, that was the best I had tonight. We're going to move on the next week, especially with there being 614 races this year. Plenty of time to make stuff up. So, yes, I think Cooper, and I think anybody that is really a student of the sport, Cooper had to win last night if there was going to be a momentum change. Anderson needed to win if there was going to be a momentum change, and Cooper got the win. I think, unfortunately, Anderson has officially blown it at this point. And I like Anderson. I had him, if you would ask me who I had for 450 main event, I had it going Eli, I had it going Anderson, and Sexton in third. And because of freaking him and Barsha, what Chris Cooksey say, it's like spots on a leopard. They never change.
Yeah, well, so I'll get to Anderson in a second here. So my thoughts on Cooper Webb is I think last night was the perfect storm for him to win that race. In my opinion, Cooper Webb does not have the speed to go with Chase or Eli. Obviously, as we saw for the first 15 minutes of that race, he kept trying to get close to Chase and really couldn't do it. Like, he was within 2 seconds, but that was as far as he was going. Had Chase not weeded it through the whoops, and we'll get to Chase weeding himself up. Coop wouldn't have won that. We talk about, and I get a lot of the keyboard warriors in the comments when we talk about Hayden Deegan being handed that fourth place last week. Same thing with Coop. Coop got handed this win last night. Eli had an off night. Sexton crashes. I mean, this is what we talk about when we were talking over the summer of like with Eli and Chase. Like, oh, can anybody else get in and win one? Well, yeah. Well, maybe on the perfect situation that they both have an off night. Last night just happened to be that perfect situation. So unless this perfect situation comes around again this year, I don't think we see anybody else win. I really think you're going to see a lot of the same thing we saw over the summer, which is going to be Eli and Sexton just winning every single race. Now, which one is going to win? I don't know.